Hi, and welcome Under the Table. I am your host for tonight, Keith, and tonight we are playing a Fistful of Darkness, which is a Forge in the Dark game. With me are some of my very good friends. Let's start with our guest, Janine. Please tell us about your character, Ro Lovelace.
Hold on. I was having some trouble swallowing. I don't know what that was. So Ral Lovelace is the Thunderheart playbook. She specializes in some more medicinal aspects, but Ral's family kind of has cultivated the knowledge of this magic and these traditional methods of doing stuff and turn them into what you will see this evening. She's very much an academic and kind of quiet, but also opinionated. In when she thinks that there's danger involved. But yeah, she's tall and gorgeous, but also you can't really see her. Nothing is given away. She wears very loose, drapey, earth tone clothes, but if you listen carefully, you can hear the clink of her vials of tools and medicines underneath the layers of clothing.
Nice. Liv, please tell us about your character, Josephine.
Hi, my name's Liv. I got my nails done. I'm acting a fool in this chat, okay? I'm acting a fool all over this damn place. Anyway, hi, I'm Liv. I play Josephine, who probably spent last episode streaming the new Red Velvet comeback, as you should too. But no, seriously. I play Josephine. She is technically the law, but we've kind of like refurbished it, retitled it. She is what we call the infamous. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, so she is a wizard by training and education. She is a sparrow by unfortunate chance and blood. And, well, actually, she's a sparrow by blood and Emerson by unfortunate circumstance. And she's really tired of everybody's shit, which is not new, but I think it's really starting to set on her bones. That, you know, everything was stolen, the house was raided, and she couldn't even just bother to rob a bank. I think she was very much like, sure, that's what you all think is the answer. Sure.
Now let's go to Alex, who will tell us about his character, Nico.
Hello all, I'm Alex. I play Nico. My playbook is the gamble, and I do that a lot, especially on these fucking people who I choose to hang out with and be my family. This is a choice that I'm making, and I'm apparently sticking to it.
You gotta love that loyalty. John, please tell us about your character, Baxter.
Hi, I'm Baxter. I don't act a fool, I am a fool. And I spent the last episode working with some new magic, trying to apply it to some of the traditional known magic, and it didn't go well. And so I am working on a whole bunch of stuff, but I think first and foremost we need to get our land back by suing, and we need to get this fake meat restaurant up and going so we have some revenue.
That is not first and foremost, sir.
Keith, I have a request. I have a request. For our 5th season, can we just have like a restaurant tycoon season? Can we just like give John what he wants and get it out of his system?
Actually, wait. So
can we do like an intermission? Like 2 episodes?
Spoiler alert. Next season is going to be our pirate season. So what if you guys are just like wandering like chefs?
We're a pirate food truck.
You're a pirate food truck.
Oh no.
Did we find it?
I feel like this can only go well.
I don't agree, and I think that we need to speak to the rest of the representatives of this group.
Okay, but here's
Okay.
the thing. Instead of cannons, we can fire hot grease.
Meatballs.
Shut up, Alex! Shut up! Stop.
dogs.
Hot dogs. Y'all have harpoons? Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna lift the curtain back a little bit more. We have been shown by Keith beautiful concepts of what our pirate ship could be, and y'all motherfuckers want to fire out hot dogs, meatballs, and hot grease?
You're so right. It could be so much more magical if we don't go down this path.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You know what? Maybe one season we'll finally do D&D and we'll just pick that magic. Okay? I don't fucking know. We'll just figure it out. Like the
One day.
food. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all are on Twitter.
No.
Anyway, I am trying to become a restaurant tycoon very unsuccessfully. Well, I wouldn't say that. I actually progressed the clock quite a lot, and I have a series of employees. They're children, but they are my employees.
So you're using child labor.
They get
Get
paid.
him.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Get him.
I'm a child.
How old are
You're
you?
20.
So
21.
They volunteered.
maybe you should have.
By whose choice?
Did their
You-
parents sign the paper? Like, how much are you?
Some of them don't
You're
have
paying them a
parents.
fair.
You are-
So, are you housing them as well, or are they just
Yes.
street urchins?
Look,
What-
if
what
if
house?
this
What
takes
house?
off,
What house that we
if this
just
takes
shot
off, Baxter
What
will
house?
in fact house them.
In the restaurant?
You're gonna house them before us?
If this takes off. So what you're saying is, you tell these kids every day, you know, if you work hard for daddy, we'll buy a house.
Look, I'm just like every other venture capitalist in the Bay
You
Area.
really are.
I hate it here.
It is.
I played
so
this to
much-
escape.
Your father is sleeping in a piss-filled bed, and you're promising a group of children a new home.
Listen, children are the future.
On that note, let's get into a little recap. So last time the sparrows came home and they found it trashed. It seems like someone had come in and taken most of their valuables, leaving only excrement in their wake and torn up cushions, etc. Basically, their home was trashed. And searching through the Detrius, they found a note that said, "This is your final notice." And with that, they deduced that this was the bank. This was the drop that had come in and confiscated everything of value in their home. And so they went on to create a plan to break into the bank, which was fairly successful thanks to the forward planning by Nico and Jeremiah, both of whom had befriended someone. Nico, someone in the bank, and Jeremiah, someone in government, both of whom helped them get in to the institution. However, when they did get into the bank, they found that it was being guarded by an AI. At first, they were trying to pose as repair people or maintenance people, but a few stray gunshots alerted the local constabulary, and one detective, Anika Nsowe, responded to the alarm. Anika was one of Tallulah's friends, but in the fight, the detective was possessed by another one of Jeremiah's ghosts. Also in the fight, Baxter employed some of his chronomancy, which unfortunately skipped them forward a day. He was able to skip them forward again, back into nighttime, but not before everyone in the bank saw, who is it? Baxter, Jeremiah, and Tallulah. all of who had their guns and other implements out. That is where Jeremiah and Tallulah are now. They are trying to convince people that that wasn't them. How could they have possibly been doing that? How could they have disappeared? That's some weird magic. No one could do that.
Are they about to gaslight an entire town?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Of course.
It's Guilty's character.
Stopping at one detective would be far too simple.
Just like killing one robotic dog.
True.
No, she had to kill two.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you all still don't have your stuff back. It seems like the bank wasn't keeping it. Instead, they had employed a repo company, the Rigo Repos, to take all your stuff, and it is still at their repo depot.
So proud of yourself. You really were like, hold for applause.
Tee, tee. Thank you.
And yes, repo is spelled with a T.
Yeah, so you guys, this session, you're going to have to figure out how to get in. But I suppose you're kind of just in downtime right now. Nico and Baxter, how much of that do you tell Josephine?
I tell Josephine everything.
I think I also tell Josephine everything.
Is it? Can it be like you're telling her everything? I'm in the corner and I'm like, you forgot a detail.
I think we should role play this.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically come in and you see Josephine, like, usually she's like locked away on her tower. I think Josephine, we don't even fucking have a couch, god damn it. The scene already ruined. Anyway, I think Josephine is just like sadly sitting on the floor. She has like one of her blankets wrapped up around her, and she's just marinating in the emptiness that is this home.
Hey Josie, we got some bad news.
Oh, I mean, I got some good news to share too.
Yeah, the good news is we know where the stuff is. The bad news is the bank didn't have it. The worst news, Baxter.
Oh, that's actually my good news, Miss Josephine. And I think he pulls out a notebook that he was writing on the trip home, and lays it out, pulls out a couple of pages, and pushes the runes and the interactions towards her, and just starts going in. Now you see, when I applied some of the runes you showed me to this older chronomancy style of runic instruction, I was able to produce a time skip. Now
He was able to lock me inside of a vault for a full 24 hours.
Now, I want to be clear. I was able to undo that work just like I was the last time. But I've learned something really interesting. The runes of today don't quite interact the same. And like, I think he looks for some technical details that aren't probably correct. But like,
I think Josephine just like fully cuts you off. I knew that.
I mean,
I told you that.
well, I mean, I knew they weren't the same, but
They're not the same at all. Baxter, I can't read them. If they were anything similar to what I know, the magic of today, I could read them. And if I can't read them, what makes you think that you can use them? You're not trained.
Well, I mean, I have used them before.
Do it right now.
Okay.
No, Josephine. He's grounded from using time magic.
Grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
Nico told me I'm not allowed to use this time magic until he says it's all right.
I trust him.
So you can prove me you can use it.
Can I use it to train, or like, do you just expect me to get better without doing any work?
If you really want to learn magic, if you really want to train in magic, fuck it. I'll show you. Okay?
I would love to work on this project with you. I've learned so much just from this little bit of experience.
You are not casting a single spell until you can read back the runic alphabet forward and backwards to me without wasting a breath or missing a letter. A rune. There we go.
I think as you finish, Baxter like smirks a little bit. This is a really fun academic challenge.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's like, you know what? Yes, Miss Josephine, I'm gonna go to my room and get started right now.
Yeah, and I think like she turns to Nico and just, what's the worst thing that happened? Because I know he didn't tell me the worst thing that happened.
Before Baxter leaves, I go, hey, listen. Just don't fucking let any of us get any don't let any of us be collateral in your magic again.
Oh, well, I didn't, yes, yeah.
Practice it elsewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna go study.
I mean, I don't really know if I'm being honest. He told me basically the same thing told you. We skipped forward in time twice. Apparently, since I was in the vault, the doors, in the blink of an eye, they just shut on me. So I assumed that was the first skip forward. And then, according to everyone else, they had their guns drawn in the middle of the day on customers and all the police. And then they jump forward in time again to just have the police. So that's where the twins are. They're spreading rumors that couldn't possibly have been them.
No.
And
Fine.
I didn't even find the stuff in the vault. But, and I pull up the glasses, your pop stuff did show me where it was.
Well, I guess that's useful for something. Okay, yeah, while the twins are doing whatever, we'll go and get that taken care of.
Sounds like a plan to me. You doing all right? You feeling better?
No.
I figured. Feeling good enough to help kick some ass?
I can't sit around and mope all day.
Works for me.
Oh, that's so cute.
Her depression?
I want to know, is your
support.
depression driven by loss of materials? Because
No, I talked to Keith about some stuff.
okay, I was gonna say
No.
It's
Keith and I had a
parental,
conversation. Yeah.
parental stuff. All
parents are the
right.
worst.
True. Let's hold off on doing what is it? Doom and XP for now. And let's just get into downtime actions for the crew. What would you guys like to do?
I definitely need to do a little vice indulgence.
Yeah,
All
same
right.
here.
What does that look like? I think, Josephine, you still have some of your books left. It's just like a majority of them were taken, basically.
That's fine.
Nico, yeah, go ahead. What does indulging your vice look like?
Probably head on over to town hall. Listen to some rumors about. I'm sure some people are like, "Hey, did you hear about your family?" I'm like, "What? No, that's crazy, man. That couldn't possibly be it."
Wait, so they weren't at the drop the other day?
I mean, I don't think so, but I mean, from what I've heard, it sounds like they were just there and not. I mean, Josephine was at the house all day. She's been crying her eyes out over the repo. So any magic that was done couldn't have been any of them.
Wait, y'all got
Josephine's the only-
repossessed?
It's a long story. We're working out the details with the bank.
All right. Well, good luck.
But even despite that, I don't. I know my family. They ain't crazy enough to try and hold up a bank.
Huh. All right. Well,
Can I?
yeah.
Can I be like doing like playing cards and like using my cutting cards ability to try and sow the rumor?
This would take up 2 downtime activities if you do that.
Nah,
Okay.
not yet at least.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and indulge your vice then. As people are just like,
Alrighty.
the rumors are just swirling around you. Even as you're just like sitting there playing cards, you can hear people like in the background talking about the sparrows. And you can hear some of them kind of get quiet as they walk next to you or near you.
Real cute of them. I got a 2.
Oof.
Drops me down to 4.
Would you like to indulge again?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay. Josephine or Baxter? Rao, you can hop in whenever you like.
I think I can go pretty quick. I want to train Guts. I think as Baxter walks off, the camera follows him into his laboratory where he's borrowed one of Josephine's spell books and is working on memorizing the runic alphabet, forwards and backwards without skipping a breath.
Is there like a specific thing that pops out to Baxter? Like a chapter that he's like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting.
I think, if anything, it would probably be like a chapter on any kind of transformations. Like matter conversion would be something that would stick out pretty heavily to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. At this point, I'm learning my ABCs. I'm not sure if that applies.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Take 1 XP in Guts.
Nice, and now I can do it. I have.
Have you leveled
Anyway,
up?
I have. That was the one. I needed 1, and now I have an attune.
Wait, you do all this spell casting with
No attune.
With 0 attune,
That
yeah.
is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
time magic with no magical skill, essentially.
Time magic and unused, untrained, unlearned art
I am the only one who has any knowledge about it.
with no attunes.
Sorry,
With
the
no-
only human. The only
Or
human.
the only human. Right. Oh God. Oh God.
Don't like
I hate
that.
when Keith
Anyway.
just like sprinkles little lore in.
It's like you wa-
You don't know what those sheeple knew. What kind of magic they knew.
That's something to stress about later. For now, yes, flashcards it is.
Nice.
And I think
nice.
he'll probably finish this like walking up to Miss Josephine and being all proud and actually recites it through forwards the first time. Look,
Your pronunciation's garbage.
oh, how can I be better?
Just you gotta be careful with the sounds. They're soft vowels, not hard vowels. And just keep learning it. Repeating it forward's the best way to learn how to repeat it backwards. Look at the order down.
All right, I'll get right on that. Scurries off.
Yeah. I do think Josephine's indulging her vice.
Mm-hmm.
In these hard times where you're just very upset about things. You always like want to go back to the reads that feel comfortable. So at first she picks up 3:10 to your mom, and then thinks about it and is like, actually, I don't want to read about moms in any way, shape, or form currently. So I think she puts that away and instead picks up The Water and the Drought and just spends an afternoon reading.
Fucking amazing. Where have you hidden? Where did you hide this book, Josephine?
All of her books are like tucked away in like a different section. Like she's very private about these books, so they're like put into a container that is like stuffed under a plank that is like pulled over with like a bunch of other junk, and then like fucking magicked to look normal, and then there's her bed on top of it.
I love it. I was imagining like Yeah, like it was just like in there among like all the pipes and stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
And yes, yes, Ginny, this is Josephine's vice. Cheap, bad, smut that is most likely printed out AO3 fanfiction.
you know,
Welcome.
when you brace your character off of your real self too closely, you run the risk of telling people who you truly are.
I would never print out fanfiction. That's the environment.
Never. That's the line.
The printing kills too many trees.
Honestly.
Also, no.
And if your
No.
parents find out that what you used it for, that you killed all the ink, it's over for you.
Also, I don't get my not my fan fiction, actually, to be totally fair. I don't really read fan fiction that much. But my guilty pleasure reads, baby, those are Patreon only. Come on now. Support your writer friends.
Wow. Iconic.
That. Damn.
Keep
Send
scheming
me,
for more money.
send me some of those people.
You got it, Esty.
Um,
Anyway, I'm
What-
gonna indulge my vice.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. The highest die result. Okay, cool.
6. What does your grit look like?
I think I'm like down to. I was at 9. I was like pretty high.
Oh
so
wow.
I'm good.
Yeah. Nice. Rao, what are you doing in town as like rumors of the sparrows start to circulate among the general populace?
I'm in and out of general store or whatever is in town, and as I'm hearing these rumors, to grab. Actually, what is in this town that they live in? Like the main things.
Yeah, because y'all live out in the sticks, right?
No, they live here.
We also
What-
own the property we live on, so you know, sometimes you gotta go to the sticks to do that. But maybe you should take a lesson
And
on
live
purchasing
fucking-
and paying your bills.
and live in dirt.
Live among
Ew.
the plants, you know. Gotta get some good, healthy, oxygenated air, as opposed to this city dreck that you breathe. But whatever.
What would you like to be here, Rao? What store would you like?
I actually think that Rao would be looking for a library.
Okay. Yeah, you
to-
can find the Vault of Pages, which is a library run by the University of Vermont here in Terrapin's Gulch.
Yes. So once I'm there and kind of hearing these like rumors amongst the other patrons, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did you say the sparrows? Who are they to this town? Why is their name so popular, despite the ever-present rumor?
Oh my dear. You don't know the sparrows. Well, let me tell you. And then like she dips in this like a librarian who's just like spilling all the hot goss. And basically she's like, well, first of all, one of them is trying to run for office here at Terrapin's Gulch, but she is the daughter of the famed Emersons out in Nineveh. Have you heard of them?
And Rao kind of like, I mean, I'm not wearing a hat right now, kind of dips her head to kind of hide the shocked expression of course. Oh, I haven't. But Rao definitely has heard of the Emersons.
Well, the Emersons, you see, they are the kingpins of the mob called the Curators. And it seems like their daughter, Josephine, is trying to make a better name for herself. But, well, she's fallen in with the rest of her family, and ever since then, apparently they've started robbing banks. So, I'm not sure how far this apple has fallen from the tree.
Well, I do suppose I support the idea of trying to change your stars. Some people just have a harder time of it than others, and if this family is as bad as you say, I suppose I can only empathize.
Oh, certainly, yes. The Church of Stars is all about forgiving and forgetting, but, I mean, if you grow up in that kind of environment, you kind of expect trash to just slop on you, right? Just stain you as a person. Like their soul, their eternal souls. The trash just rubbing off on her soul.
Well, I like to think that most people are redeemable. I'll bid you a good day.
Good day.
As I walk out. I'm like, oh, fuck. As I'm like kind of walking around, now aware that they're here, I start looking for them. I have seen Josephine before, and I would know I would know Jeremiah if I saw him, but I'm kind of just asking around town. Do you know where I could find the sparrows? I have some things I need to deliver. I've got like my rucksack with me.
And people direct you towards their homestead, which is near the outskirts of town. The city,
the suburbs.
Actually, yeah. And when you get there, how do you think they afford the suburban life? When you get there, you find that their stone home has been splashed with a whole bunch of like bright colored paints. And when you walk in, you kind of see the devastation that was left by the Repo Company.
Who is there? Anyone in? Well, I knock on the door first. Hello, the Sparrow's home.
I think as the youngest, Baxter probably walks up and answers the door. Hello. How can I help you?
Oh, your audio cut out, Janine.
Oh, hi. I'm here looking for the Sparrow family. Perhaps Josephine or Jeremiah.
Oh, you come to the right spot. I'm Baxter. I'm the youngest of the family. Pleasure to meet you. What's your name? And he like extends his hand for a shake.
Rao. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Lovely to meet you, Rao. And what brings you around?
I had heard some rumors about what y'all had going on and was a little curious to catch up with Josephine up there and see if anything had changed since the last time I saw her.
Oh, so you know Miss Josephine?
Only in passing. I know her family.
Ah, well, so do we too well now, don't you know? She's just riding here. I don't quite know what she's doing. She's got a book. She's having her quiet time. I'll let you know. We don't have any couches or anything, but here's a pillow. If you want to sit on the ground while I go and get her.
I'll stand.
Oh, I understand. Can I get you anything to drink, like maybe hot water or something?
I'm okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. And I think as he walks away, you just hear him scream, "Hey, Miss Josephine! You got a visitor!"
And Ro hears...
Everyone.
And, like, Ro hears the, one second. Ro hears, like, the door slam open, and Josephine just yells, "Baxter, I told you not to bother me! I'm reading! Who is at the door?"
Oh, it's Miss Ro!
Would y'all shut the fuck up?
They said they knew you!
Nico, I will beat your ass! Don't talk to me like that!
I'm going to go greet our guest.
And then Clay Sparrow says, "How many times do I have to tell you kids to shut up in the house?"
Sorry, Daddy.
Sorry, Pops.
And then Josephine walks down. Because we have met in the past, right? Yeah. You're muted, but it looked like you were nodding, so I'm gonna say that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in the same room a couple times and
Yeah.
had some like polite conversation, nothing beyond the surface.
Yeah.
Is it like
I guess,
the same house party sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I guess like if there was any differences, like Josephine's always like physically looked like her father, like she's of darker complexion, at least compared to her cousins. She's got like grayish, blackish hair, but now it's more like white, like stark white, and she does look far more exhausted than she would have ever seemed. Like before, it would have been like, oh, you know, like I'm living in the lap of luxury. I'm like so happy and healthy and like glowing. And now it's just like, fuck, this bitch has been through a lot. And so she just.
Really quick, Josephine, are you wearing a glove to hide your completely white hand? Go ahead.
Yes, yes. That is exactly what. That's something I forgot to ask you. Yes, she is wearing one. She is wearing one black glove, and I've never talked much about Josephine's pants, but in my mind, Josephine wears like, kind of. Sorry, did not mean to mute myself. Josephine wears sort of like large gaucho style pants, like the kinds that look like one really long skirt, but when she moves, you can see like, oh, those are pants. And they're like black with this like gold thread used to decorate it all in this like ornate filigree pattern. And I think her glove looks like that. It's like black, and then in gold thread, it's like embroidered like with all the bones of the hand. So that's what her new glove looks like. And yeah, she would walk down and instantly just like her whole face would sour and just, well, Lovelace, what are you doing here?
Well, I heard you had a mayoral candidacy coming up. You don't look very much like a woman who's trying to win anything. Are you okay? No offense. I mean, you've always been. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's good to see you.
It's a surprise to see you.
Well,
and
I mean,
a good one. A good one. It's just, as you can see, and she like gestures out, weren't really in a place to be hosting guests, let alone mayoral campaign parties. But you know what? I'm sorry. I've been in a sour mood all day. And she like rushes down the stairs. Huh.
What are y'all up to here? I'm sorry. The pleasantries are fine. You know, I always thought you would turn out different than the rest of your family, and then I get called out here to deal with some kind of situation that's going on over at the university, and I hear that y'all have had a hand in it. Then I hear about bank robbery, and I hear you're trying to run for a mayor candidate. Who are you hanging around with that's getting you into all this trouble? I thought you were going to be the good egg.
What happened at the university?
You didn't hear about the smoke coming up through the vents and possessing people?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, I'm sure you've got some good reason for not hearing about that. What?
Well, I'm trying to think. It's like I said, busy couple of days, weeks, life. Well, yeah, we did go to Vermont to get some questions answered, and I did some research on some stuff. But there was this whole situation, speaking of my family, there was this whole situation where my own father robbed me blind, which, like, maybe not
Is that why
blind.
it looks like that in here?
No, we had more furniture. He just stole from us, like, some high quality, high value items, and we were trying to get our money back. And so, which honestly would be very useful because that bastard in City Hall, Mr. Crawford decided to sell the land from underneath us. So the house is fine. Honestly, actually, why did they repossess all of our possessions? The house is fine. Anyway, they sold the land underneath the house, and my daddy had stolen all this money from us. So we were trying to go after my dad to get the money back so that we could pay for the house. And you know, like the big inventors fair that happens over in Syracuse West?
Mm-hmm.
So the Emersons sponsored this year's fair. And I think it was to sneak in a giant snake and a couple of other corrupted creatures that me and my cousins put down and saved a whole bunch of people. So that's a win. But while that was all happening, I guess they were taking all of our shit and pissing in our beds. I've been going through a lot. Also, I think my mama has something to do with it too. So, you know, yeah,
Well, that
not a great family.
is just the most piss poor excuse for a family reunion that I've ever heard. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to hear about your things.
And I had nothing to do with the bank robbery.
I had almost forgotten about that. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
you told me yours. I guess I'll tell you mine. We came to the university because Mr. Sequoia, who was friends with your Jeremiah, which is how I would. Well, where are they? Jeremiah and business. I see. Well, we're called out to the university to figure out what kind of corruption was going through some of the students. There was a splintering of factions, some people wanting to keep the old guard and others wanting to purge the old guard and all those in their ilk and turn the university into more of a meritocracy. And I mean, that was all a front. They're trying to poison the entire water system for the entire town, for the entire city. And we barely managed to stop. I thought I had made something that would help cure all of those that were potentially affected, but that was stolen from me. And I don't know what is going on beyond what was the name of the dark man?
Oh my god.
The
Do you
other
want to
man.
mention the ghost possession?
Which one of us?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. Janine.
There were people who were being possessed by spirits, the professors at the school even, and they were made to serve. I don't even know what this energy is, but it seems like it's coming up from, well, it was coming up from underneath the city, the engine that powers the city.
Ghosts. That's probably the wildest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard about no ghosts before.
And you see Rao's right hand, which is kind of, it's bandaged, but like in a fashionable way. It's got white and like off-white and green and like brown wrappings all kind of patterned together to like create kind of a sleeve to cover the hand. Fingerless, of course. But you see her fingers start to twitch. It's like, you don't say. You don't know nothing about any ghosts. I'll say Sequoia can summon them.
That's not strange. I didn't think he knew magic.
It's a familial thing. I believe his own ancestors are his connection. And I mean,
Right.
it isn't as if none of us have ever made a connection with the... What's the word that I'm looking for? Damn. It's not hell.
Oh,
What's-
Heaven.
It's
Purgatory.
also in
it-
this game.
Oh, Calamity.
Calamity.
I wouldn't be mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that wouldn't be the first connection that any of y'all would have had with the Calamity.
I don't have. Actually, sorry, I'm hesitating. Josephine doesn't know. I don't have any. I don't have any connection to Calamity.
Well, if you don't mind, I mean, the others are gathering up their supplies and everything that we need here in town. Do you mind if I stay here for a couple days?
I ain't got much to offer you, but sure, there's room in my room. I think
Rao has her own, like, sleeping bag and is prepared. Yeah, I just need a good place to lay my head.
Yeah, sure thing. I mean, I'll be honest, I think the boys and I are probably gonna see if we can get our stuff back, but I mean, you don't have to go along with that, you can just relax here.
I mean, even if it's just for the sake of finding out how that goes for you, I'm sure I could tag along and be of some help. I did just save this entire city, after all.
I mean, listen, well, there's a lot I can say about you, but weak with magic and slow at the draw are two things that I could never say about you.
Well, I appreciate that glowing endorsement. So yeah, maybe I can help.
Thank you.
I think at this point, Baxter comes back with this
Me too.
piping cup, and he's just like barely like juggling it in his hands. Now I know you didn't ask for anything, but here's a water. I thought you could use something after your journey.
Oh, I heard we got guests. I brought out the cornbread.
Well, this is my baby cousin Baxter, and then this is our
I take care of Pops.
yeah.
Nurse.
Sure,
I
call me
mean,
that.
He's kind of family. He's weaseled his way in. Anyway, his name's Nico.
Well, I understand extended family better than most. Pleasant to make your acquaintance.
Very extended for you.
Nice to meet you.
So, what's happening?
I overheard Rao's gonna be staying with us, right?
Oh, how lovely. We don't have much of an accommodation at the moment, but I'm sure we can spin something up.
Oh, don't you worry. I come prepared with my own goodies.
I mean, I'm sure it's kind of homey to you. Don't you live out in the woods or something?
We live amongst the trees. I know you don't know too much about that, but
No.
it's quite beautiful. And
Oh my
there's a
goodness.
lot less issue with people trying to reclaim the land that we live on.
Can I come and see? I've got some. I want to know how you live. Can I bring a notebook and like follow you?
Maybe you could figure out a time to go hang out. I mean, there's a whole gangle of you, isn't there? I mean, there's Sequoia, and then the little one.
Yeah. And then the big one, and then there's the quiet one.
Right, but sometimes he ain't that quiet.
He just wants to see a little more beauty in the world, and I don't blame him for that.
Oh my God! I'm sure we'll get on swimmingly.
Not Baxter entering his like, I'm gonna run away and join a commune. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
moving into a co-op in college.
Well,
It's in his 20s.
when I was about your age, I struck out against my family's will a little bit, but you know, I feel I've made a better connection with them after leaving, and I've learned so much. I'm sure Sequoia would be happy to have you on for a visit.
Yeah, I mean, what can it hurt to stay over, figure it out?
He's very protective of his research, I will tell you that.
Oh, I'm not there to steal nothing. I'm there to learn.
All I'm saying, Baxter, is you're still grounded while you're out in Sequoia.
Oh.
But- Oh, it's a whole thing. You know, I use some magic when I probably shouldn't have, but you
He
know,
doesn't know what he's doing. Okay.
Well,
it worked out.
we all start somewhere. There's got to be a learning curve.
You
Yeah.
know one.
Yeah, it's genetic. So a little different.
I think with that, let's take our first break of the night. Thank you for watching. We will BRB in about 5 minutes. See you soon. And welcome back under the table. The crew is looking to retrieve their stuff back from some repo thems. But in the process, they met up with an old friend, Lovelace from the commune. I believe, though, that we have one more downtime action. If anyone else would like to partake.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout at Baxter. Be like, "Hey, Baxter, I'm gonna go into your lab and tinker with stuff." You hear the door slam.
I'm coming. And I think Baxter follows in. This actually works out well because I also want to indulge my vice, which happens in my laboratory.
Oh, so we got like tinkering time with the boys.
Oh, I lied. I'm not tinkering. I'm playing with these new toys that I got from Uncle D.
Tool time.
I would be happy to tinker with you and see what they can do.
You are not touching these glasses, young man.
I'll just hold them. Anyway, I got some stuff in my bag. I don't need your glasses. Anyway,
Look, buddy,
jumps
all
out
I'm
of-
saying is trust is like a mirror. Easy to break, hard to fix.
I like that saying. That's a really good saying.
Do I hear this saying from another room? Because
Yeah.
If
why
you
not?
want.
I just turned to Josephine. Are they always like that?
Define like that, like arguing back and forth.
And a little
One
bit of
act-
nonsensical.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard because Baxter's kind of intelligent that like when it all comes together, it's amazing and it blows you away. But there's a lot of scrambling pieces that just don't when they're not together, it's just incoherent. Whereas Nico's like a rusty nail. Not much to look at, but definitely don't want to step on it because it'll fuck you up.
Oh, okay.
That's how I describe him.
Very interesting.
But
First-
Nico's my right-hand man, and Baxter's my project.
Always gotta have one of those, I suppose, for you.
Really quick, welcome to our raiders from Zombie Orpheus. We are playing a Forge in the Dark game. Also, apparently calling someone a rusty nail is a compliment now. So, Nico, take your XP. Baxter, indulge in your vice, please.
I did, and I got a 6, which is awesome because I had exactly 6 grit,
Amazing.
and so I have none.
Perfect.
I'm so happy for you.
Pain.
I can feel the happiness.
My joy is overwhelming.
The leather.
Josephine, what are you up to?
Well, I'm vamping because I'm pulling up this goddamn game because I always forget.
Nico, I don't think you're supposed to use those like that.
It's fine. I'm trying to get better at hunting stuff.
Oh my goodness, I can't. No. Look, if you point that way, that's really radio sensitive. I don't know what kind of magic that's using.
Me neither, but it's working fine. I said I want to find some screws and show where the screws are.
Small light bulb in the corner blows up. Nico, look away from that.
I didn't do that.
Was that enough vamping time?
You sure that ain't just a bad bulb?
Yes, I'm positive. It worked yesterday.
Yeah, well, sometimes bulbs just go out.
Are they gonna blow this house up?
No, I don't think so. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm torn between trying to reduce heat or trying to acquire an asset that is going to help us with this fucking repo depot extravaganza.
For a coin, you can do both.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
So which would you like to do first? And then tell me how you spend a coin to help you do the second.
Okay. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is try to reduce heat on us. Because there's a couple of things that were hot in the water or not water.
So really quick, in this specific system, it's called Doom.
Oh, Doom, right,
As
sorry.
the apocalypse slowly comes, like ferments, basically.
Right. Let's show Janine how
much
we
you
were
know the
fucking, how much we're fucking up this whole world. How many Dooms?
I mean, I've already experienced a little bit of it.
You are at 1 rider and I believe 4 Doom.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try to reduce our
Jen's
Doom.
character sheet.
I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Like, what's a good thing that Josephine could do at this time?
Would you like me to describe some of the Doom things that are growing and popping up in the
I would
city?
love to.
Please.
Josephine, actually everyone starts noticing that the people in the city are becoming a lot more irritable. Like, I imagine that in the beginning of the season, citizens were fairly amicable towards each other. But now walking down the street is like walking down a New York street. Like, people are just like yelling obscenities at each other. Like, they're like, "Get out of the road! Well, look where you're driving, bro."
Look in here.
Yeah. And I think that you're starting to realize, Josephine, that people are disappearing. And no one knows where they're going.
Okay. Cool. That's great. Yeah, I think Josephine is going to do is gonna take on this little project on her own of like trying to figure out where all these people are going to.
What does that look like? Are you Rao, are you helping? Is there like a PI?
So
They-
maybe these people just walked off into the sunset, or maybe walked off to join that cult from the university. There's so many. If there are other things you all have going on, and that was the biggest thing up in my world up until the rest. There could be any number of reasons these people are disappearing. Maybe they just want to get away from all the bullshit you guys cause.
I mean,
Who knows?
believe me, I relate to them. I have felt that feeling myself. But the fact of the matter is people are disappearing and people are acting like it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna fix that. So I think
All right, Mayor Emerson, let's get to it then.
Yes, exactly. We're gonna lean into Josie's Kamala Harris era. We're gonna lean into her.
We did it, Joe.
We did it. We did it, Ro.
Nice.
You playing the law going into your Kamala Harris era.
Oh my God, I love it. I love everything about it. Who are we throwing in jail first?
Who are you arresting, bestie?
Prosecute it.
You get a prosecution. You get a prosecution.
Really quick, welcome Ghostlight RPGs and your raiding party. We're not
Hello.
handing out
Thanks.
prosecutions
Yeah.
No,
yet.
we're not. Well, depending on, guess what? You know who's gonna be prosecuted? Whoever's making all these people disappear. I am rounding
Nice.
up an
Got 'em.
entire search party.
Would you say it's whoever is guilty of committing these crimes?
Yay!
Literally, y'all, and guilty.
I heard one name.
I'm sorry, you and Yorn.
How are you looking for these people, Josephine?
I think Josephine is like gathering up as many people as she can. Anybody who's like, me, I don't wanna, I'm mean. Josephine's like, these are your neighbors. This is your community. And if you're not taking care of these people in your community, it's gonna be you and your family next. And so...
Do you take out like glasses?
Long arming. Oh my god, yes. Like, she
at the
brings out like
pulpit? Yes.
horn-rimmed like glasses. Definitely made out of glass. Are you kidding me?
Nice.
And it's just like, listen, we are going to find these people. And leads like a search party. And while they're all doing that, I do think Josephine turns to, oh my god, is it Ro or Rao?
Rao.
Yeah. Yeah, turns to Rao and is like, all right, listen, while all those people are out there looking, let's do a little communion. I mean, let's just like get a little bit of scrying and figure out what the fuck all these people are.
Sounds like a solid plan to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
All
right. What skill are you using?
I'm gonna use a tune.
Roll your tune.
Actually, I'm not gonna help. I think you got this.
Right?
Right?
Can I help if I spend a coin?
Ooh. Yes, you can. How are you spending that coin? What are you buying for Josephine for this ritual?
I think I just toss it at my buddies and I'm like, y'all help her, you get this one.
All right. So I think they're helping by heading up this search party so that Josephine and Rao can have like their the alone time they need to like cast this ritual.
Yeah. Just like trying to keep everyone like away from. It's like, you know, when you're in like you volunteer for something, you never meet the people who are running it. You have you run into other volunteers who are somehow like higher up, despite us all being volunteers.
Is this the Red Denim Gang?
I mean, they are our usual go-to. I do think though, like, okay, do they actually wear red denim?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
some of them wear red denim jackets, vests. Some of them wear
Yeah.
like jeans. Yeah, go ahead.
Josephine like spruces it up so it's like a brighter, crisper red, and
Nice.
everybody gets like a little pin. Yeah, everybody gets like a little like metallic copper pin that's like a cursive E. And it's like, okay, this lets everybody know that you are part of the main team and that
This is your
you are
campaign
to be-
team.
Oh my god.
Someone's gonna knock on door.
Wait, also, as an aside, unrelated, I apologize. So I made that first seltzer, and I'm attempting to make another one with this giant bottle of Kirkland vodka. That's
Not the
That
Kirkland.
sounds terrible.
Guys,
That sounds
I just poured a bunch of it on my legs, so there's that. It's fine. It's gonna dry fast. It's vodka. Okay,
Get
Also,
Dory
it's,
over to
it's
help you
cleansing.
out.
Yeah, there
back
you
to
go.
game.
Really quick, welcome to RPG's Anonymous and your rating party. Hello.
Lots of raids today. Thanks
Lots
for
of
coming in,
raids
guys.
today.
Love to
Thank
see
you.
it. Happy to have y'all here. You're in the middle of a bad political campaign where I'm using teenage gangbangers to help me find missing people.
Yeah, I think the head of the Red Denim Gang says, "Well, thank you, Miss Josephine. I think we'll have to start calling ourselves the Crimson Denim Gang."
No, stick to red. It's just catchier.
Oh,
You know,
right.
stick to a brand. You want to stick to a brand. It's smart.
Now,
You gotta
Josephine,
build
these people
brand
can't even
power.
vote for you. They're too young. What are y'all doing? Well, thank you for
What?
helping with the search party.
Thank you. No, we'll lie on our ages, Miss Josephine. We'll get you those votes.
I didn't hear that.
I look at Rao. Rao looks at Josephine like, again, thinking
I didn't-
that Josephine has changed her
I
stars.
I did not tell them to do anything except for help me. They are volunteers, and I would never allow anybody to lie in a political campaign.
We're just really thankful for the money, Miss Josephine. Thank you so much. We'll do
Thought you
whatever
didn't
you
have
need.
any money.
I don't know what money they're talking about.
They just leave.
So the mistrust meter, I know that we don't have a mistrust clock, but the one in my head, the one in my head just went ding.
Actually, just route. You can make clocks in your character sheet.
Oh, I do see a progress clock option here. Let's see.
And you can
what
even
does this button do?
You can even pop it into chat. Okay, what are my positions for this role?
There are no positions, but you can do controlled standard.
Okay, cool. And then I'll just
Don't forget you have help.
yeah, I'm gonna add an extra die.
Yeah.
Oh wait, or.
Do you want to make it great?
Yeah, I'm gonna do controlled grade.
Okay.
Let's go! That's a 5!
Ooh, nice. So basically that takes it up, that makes it so that you instead of rolling a 5, it's like you rolled a 6. And so, yeah, what does this ritual look like? Josephine and Rao, are there like magical circles? Are there candles? What's the vibe?
I think for Rao's contribution, she would have kind of gathered up some of the things that are very indicative of the city and the town that they live in. So like some of the soil, and just kind of, does it rain? If there's any,
Yeah.
like
The
local,
wizards make it rain. Yeah.
yeah. So like any gathered rainwater, a little bit of that, some salt for grounding from like a local shop or something, and yeah, just a couple of personal touches to kind of draw the energies of this person to where we can see them.
Nice. Nice.
And I think like Josephine thankfully takes all of those things and uses them to instead of drawing like a magic circle, draw in the ground like a compass. And I think once like everything's been laid out, she takes like copper rods and sticks them in like north, south, east, west, and then in the center point calls on lightning. And I think the lightning like strikes the center point, it strikes out, and it conducts so that all of this stuff kind of like swirls together, and it doesn't condense all the way. They're still kind of like moving like asteroids, where it's like they're moving all in one space, they're moving all together, but they're each still individual clumps of sand, or not sand, salt, and like the water kind of is moving through it and all, but basically creates like a compass for Josephine to kind of like hover in her hands. And it's like, all right, this is going to point us the way that we need to go to find these people.
I love it. Yeah, and I think you bring in some of your glass magic here, Josephine, to like contain all of those elements. And yeah, you're able to find them. It seems like all of them have Rao, this kind of like pings your danger meter, because a lot of them have these weird black veins radiating from their eyes.
I already know what that is, and I don't think we should be a party of it. It's exactly the thing that I was talking to you about at the university. Whenever anybody got consumed any of that smoke that was coming up through the ventilation, they got these dark black veins running through their body, and whatever it is indoctrinating these people.
I know that the black smoke are Jeremiah's ghosts.
The black smoke is not Jeremiah's ghost, but that
that
is
was
something
Liv
different.
asking it. I was like, did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just out this immediately?
God, no.
I was like, of course.
Yeah, God, no.
I think to both of you, that sounds like shadow corruption more than ghost possession. Because Rao, you deal very closely with ghosts, and Josephine, you've seen ghost possession by Jeremiah's ghost a few times. So you know that this isn't align with any of the symptoms that you've seen from any of that. This is more of like a poisoning, kind of. Like people are taking in this dark smoke or like corrupted water, and it is changing them.
Now, does it look reminiscent to my hand?
It does not. Your hand is like a chalky white.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And actually, if you try to like test it, Josephine, like just like try to play with it or whatever, the skin is like very, very pliable. It's like
I thought you were gonna say it was gonna be flaking off. I was gonna scream.
No. It's like a very soft rubber. Like you can pull it
I take
far.
it back. I'm screaming. I'm taking it back. I'm screaming. I'm screaming.
As in, like, yo ho, he took a bite of whatever the name of that fruit from One Piece was.
Uh-huh. And then it just
No, you turning me into a One Piece character, the one anime I don't fucking watch.
Listen up, Luffy. Put some moisturizer on that fucking hand.
Swim. Can she swim? That's the important question.
You know, she didn't go to school of water. Not this. Absolutely not this. Okay, whatever. I'm putting back my fucking rubber hand anyway.
But I think Rao, you know that if you can keep these people away from whatever corrupting influence is like getting into them, then they will recover. This is like the first stages of this corruption.
We have to draw these people away from the source of their corruption. Which
Do we have like an empty barn back at the house?
You do.
Okay.
Empty.
do I know how long it would take for this corruption to be
Yeah,
gone?
probably like a month plus or minus a week.
Okay. So I don't know about Warren's situation. We're gonna have to feed and clothe and house these people for a month, and with the numbers growing the way that they are,
Okay. What we'll
I
do-
could try to synthesize more of that anti-agent that I had before, but might take. I don't know how long it would take, and if we have the supplies here. And I'm not quite sure how welcome I am back at the university where I synthesized it the first time and a couple of grad students got blown up.
Well, I mean, we do have a lab that you could use at any time.
Oh!
You're just gonna have Baxter over your shoulder.
I think I could teach him a thing or two. I'm okay with that.
That's what I think too sometimes. But in the meantime, I think we'll have to talk to the city, figure out, in the meantime, we're gonna have to talk to the city, figure out a place where we can keep all these people, get them secure. Can they be around other people? Or are they infectious like that?
They are not infectious yet.
I think we're early enough in the stages that they're okay to not be quarantined individually, but all together as a group would be ideal and away from others.
Okay. We'll see if we can get some volunteers from town to, cater to them and bring food, bring water, things like that. Make sure they're okay and get them fed for the next month. It'll be a big project that I think it'll be worthwhile. And then in the meantime, we'll have another group of people to see if they can try to figure out where exactly this is coming from. Because you said it was in Vermont, and I don't understand how it's here. So
It came up through the ventilation system there, and when we were down there, I think some did manage to get into the water source despite our best efforts. And I mean, one of the culprits, Professor. Oh, wrong one. Huh. I think his character sheet is missing, so I
Clayfield, I believe.
Yeah, Professor Clayfield did make off with his corrupted self and my cure So, I I don't know if they found another way to release this toxin into the people, but I think I can get them the cure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you and your people wouldn't mind kind of helming that.
Oh, sure, another of us fixing your problems. Yeah,
It's not. It's not.
it's
First
an
of all,
hour
it's
problem. However, I do think that just based off of the stories that I've heard thus far, that y'all must have something to do with it.
so. It's not me giving you and are making you fix my problems. I am still going to be the authoritative figure and figure all of this. What it is delegation. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Mayor, for accepting me into your cabinet. I tip my hat again.
I mean, I would love to have you.
I don't know if I think that's the best idea.
What's up?
And I think with that, we can lower the doom by 3.
Hey!
Yes.
Nice one, bruv.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like house these people. You show everyone else like this corruption, and kind of like inform them of how to of what to look for to avoid it. And I think people are like, oh, okay. Oh, they're even housing these people for a month. Wow, that's really cool. And that kind of like
Yeah, and just is like, and I will be making sure they're taken care of. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
nice, yeah. And people are like, wow, people are still basically nice. Okay. And like some of the insults that y'all have been hearing on the streets kind of like calm down a little bit. But yeah, you don't know where this corruption is coming from. All right. There was one more thing you wanted to do, Josephine.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm taking up so much time.
No, that's fine.
I forgot about one of my thoughts. God damn. Okay. Okay. Basically, I think it's like technically going to be like acquire an asset, but I wanted to take my coin and see if there's anybody in City Hall, anybody in town who would know or more information about this repo depot.
Okay.
Basically, like, if this was Monster of the Week, I'm trying to like investigate and get all of my shit set up before we go into this.
Yeah, do you want to name your contact, or would you like me to pull out the name book?
Actually, wait, let me see something. Because once upon a time, I think I'm supposed to have like a buddy for the system.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever named one. Never mind, no. But I think like Josephine does have to have like at least like one, like, I don't know,
Contact.
clerk or something. Yeah, in City Hall who like has all the hot cheese in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, a plot bunny.
Do you have a name? Or would you like one?
Yeah, you can pick one. I'm trying to think of one that we don't.
This is Jensei N.
Okay.
JENSAY. Last name EN.
JENSNY.
SAY.
Okay, cool.
Jensei N.
Yeah, and I think after my incredible efforts to take care of these, corrupted citizens, I waltz right in to City Hall. I glare at Edwin's office door. And I go over to Jensei. I say, hello, hi, hun. Good to see you.
Josephine, good to see you. I've been hearing you've been busy out in the streets.
I do what I can where I can for the people.
Didn't know you were running an infirmary, but we are always glad to have a few philanthropists in the city.
I mean, if you can give, why not give?
Absolutely, and we are certainly thankful. But I got an inkling that this visit isn't really about that.
I mean, it's definitely about me giving. And I take take like one coin out and like kind of like rest my hand on their desk with like the coin underneath like my fingers. And I'm like, but you see, I'm a woman who gives, but there's people out there who take. And I'm sure you've heard the rumors about what happened to me and my cousins. So...
About the bank?
Not even the bank. And just, we went to inquire about our belongings at the bank, as good upstanding citizens do.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't there, so... our assistant Nico was able to look into it and said it's somewhere at the Repo Depot. And I was basically wondering. I was wondering if you got any information about that.
Yes, we do seem to have their business qualifications. Some of their information, and City Hall does thank you for your donation. Just one teensy tiny thing for me, and I promise I won't be spreading any rumors like any of those other gossips. Just if it's true about the bank, just don't look out the window. You don't gotta say yes or no. Just look out the window.
Okay, I look out the window.
Perfect. And here's all the information.
Oh wait, no, sorry, wait. I'm so sorry. I thought like there was something outside the window that they wanted me to see.
Oh no. Basically, it's like the whole thing. Like if you want XYZ, then don't say anything or whatever.
Blink twice kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck it. This is my friend. I can trust them.
Yeah. You do it.
This is my mechanical friend. This is a position on my sheet that I have to fill out. Keith would not fuck me.
I was gonna say, but this is Keith that we're talking about.
If Keith doesn't respect me, Keith respects the rules of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. That.
How dare.
The devil you know, as he is known in some circles. Who are we pointing at?
I'm just saying, Liv's got a good point.
Points were made. Points might have been made, one might say. I just started doing jujitsu.
It's your ninjutsu of the day.
This is the only one I was ever able to do. Anyway, I'm done here.
Yeah, Joe says like, say no more. Here's the information you requested. And basically you find that they are operating out of like an old mechanics workshop near the edge of town. It's a
mechanics.
Yeah, it's a 2-story garage mechanics workshop, which has a ground floor and a basement. And it seems that the Repo Depot employs 5 people, and their boss, their captain, is called Keston Frost. They them.
Keston Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's a hot person name. What are you doing?
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What's the first name?
Keston.
Keston. That's just weird and cool.
Like Kesten?
Kestin.
So close.
Keston what?
Frost.
Frost.
Oh.
Keston Frost. And it seems like the based on the blueprints of the renovations that were submitted into the city hall, a lot of the valuables are stored in like cages or secure lockers below ground. Yeah, they have like secure bins or something like that.
Oh yeah, like cash boxes.
Yeah, cash boxes,
Yeah.
maybe for like paintings and delicate things. Maybe they have something a little bit more padded. I don't know how this works. I don't know what's going on.
It's your game.
Running the world.
I'm baby. I don't know anything.
Ooh, what's happening? Yeah, I think they probably they probably have them in like separate boxes, wrap them in like bubble wrap, stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then they
have it-
just stack them. Yeah.
As a conceptual question, is it concerning that God doesn't know how something is working?
I feel like that's far more realistic.
If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it,
Was it
Does
God?
God care?
yeah,
Did God do it?
Did God do it? Wow.
and God re-erect the tree even.
You said erect. So while you're gone,
That she did.
while the two of you are gone, I think that Nico and Baxter, you get a you get someone from the Salvation's Gift who comes over to you, and this is a clerk who says, we at Salvation have heard that you are going to be moving against the Repo Depot. We know several people who have had their possessions repossessed. So we are asking you as a favor, as very good friends, if you could give us all of the possessions that do not belong to you. We, of course, will compensate you what we can. They say it's about 10 coin. Though we know that the actual value of all the things that have been repossessed is probably much more than this. But we are hoping that in the goodness of your heart and for the sake of our relationship, that you will give it to us so we can redistribute it to their proper owners.
You got a list of things or people that we should keep a lookout for?
Well, all of the possessions in the depot have been taken from people. So
And are you going to make sure they go back to the people who they belong to?
you have our word.
I'll say we can get what we can, but we're going to focus on what's ours.
Of course. Just let us know when the depot has been shuttered, if you know what I mean. And then we will come in and take the possessions away.
Well, now I know you're not suggesting we would do anything untoward, right?
No, of course. That was just a turn of phrase.
Oh, you're right. As long as it's just understood.
We're all friends here. We wouldn't want anything to happen to each other.
We'll let you know when we have what goods you can take.
And
We'll share any resources that come our way.
the clerk gives a little nod and walks away.
Hey, what's your name, by the way?
Their name is Max Ordell. Maximilian Ordell.
Maximilian Pleasure. Nico.
A pleasure.
Hi, I'm Baxter.
Hi. Good to meet you. Again, thank you for your time, and we do look forward to hearing from you again.
Oh, of course.
Later, Max.
And they leave.
Nico, I think we should go catch up with Miss Josephine. I think we got to get going.
They'll come back when they come back. What's your rush?
We should get going so we can get there in time for it to be night when we arrive.
This
Just go ahead. Sorry.
What's your hurry, bud? They said they'd come back and then we'll go.
Look, we ran out of time last time, and I don't.
Did we? Did we run out of time?
I'll have you know, I gave us extra time by skipping forward.
Did you?
Because we didn't skip forward a perfect 24 hours. It was actually 23 hours and 59 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't think that extra 3 minutes is going to help us.
I'm sorry, how many minutes?
1 minute?
Thank you.
What, are you trying to outsmart me because you got book learning? I show you your wallet.
Look, I know.
Oh my god, I hate it.
I gently scoop the wallet as if this is the 100th time this has happened. I know you can take my thing. This is nothing new, Nico.
Yeah, I know, and I know you can do math.
And you see this, and he pulls out a time rune that is the skip rune that would be obvious to Nico.
No, it wouldn't,
And I got
because
this.
I was in the vault!
It's true. It's true.
I have no idea. I've never seen this man before in my life.
Well, I think that it would be something that he hasn't seen Josephine do, and that's what would be scary about it.
I don't know, Magic,
Fair enough.
but you're grounded, so...
Look, if we're just showing off our skills, I thought I'd show off what I got.
That's not what we're doing, bud. We'll meet up when we meet up.
Keith, I'd like to... No. I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah. So I think that it is time for the engagement roll. So you guys think about it and tell me what sort of plan you are going to use to get into this depot, this repo depot. Would you like to assault it? Would you like to use deception to maybe sneak past all of the guards? Use stealth, occult, social, or transport? Probably not transport.
Can I do one quick... Yes, I would like to do one more quick thing if I can. In downtime, I'd like to gather intel. And I'd like to pay a coin to do this.
So if it has anything to do with the Repo Depot, then I think that Josephine's
Covered.
intel, you would have seen that. So if you want more than that, then yes, we can for sure do that. We can do this downtime action, but if think about the information you got from Josephine, and then if that's fine, then
Yeah. And I definitely would have shared that because you even said that there was blueprints, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, we got everything.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I would check in with everybody and be like, I think our best, especially because it's the four of us, I think our best option is stealth because we're actually quiet.
I think you're right. And he rattles his giant backpack behind him.
But I'm begging you. We have to come out with more stuff than we need. I need you to bring a that load.
Can we split the
gotta-
difference?
By the way, Josephine, and Raul, you know what? You seem trustworthy enough. The Salvation's gift stopped by while you were gone. They say that just about everything there has been taken and they're looking to give it back, and they'll pay us a pretty penny if we can get some extra stuff.
just as a reminder, Salvation's Gift is a black market seller.
Right. I hear this. I don't. And the suspicion clock goes up again.
Do you want me to keep track? How many slots do you think is in that clock? How many points?
So I see that the option is 4
Mm-hmm.
as the standard option, but I think maybe 6, just because I was like, a promising young woman when I met her.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't seem anything like the rest of the scoundrels that are in her family. Now here we are, stealing things that belong to us and giving stuff to the black market.
Oh wait, you said 6,
And they
right?
said,
You said
6.
Yeah.
they said they'd give it back to who it belongs to.
Yeah, I think
I
Would
would.
I notice Rao's like suspicion?
I think Rao doesn't say anything out loud. Actually, her eyes just kind of narrow, and intentionally the hat goes down, and she's like trying to see. Like, you know, when someone when there's a group of people talking and people like put their hands in front of their clasp their hands in front of themselves and kind of just like listen and nod along. Like I do a little bit of that. It's like intently listening, giving nothing away.
Well, I mean, Salvation's gift is a very we kind of rely on them. It's where we go after we finish our mission, so
They asked us as friends.
okay. I mean,
As a reminder, you guys are have
Yeah, we have,
plus
like, a
2
bond with them.
friendliness with them.
yeah. I mean, they ain't bad people. They're just giving people a place to sell things. Sure. Especially if people have had their possessions taken away. Yeah.
Yeah, no one likes a bank. Oh my goodness.
I will say, some people who end up in debt don't deserve to be there. So
Exactly.
I don't see why we couldn't help out.
Exactly. This is a very, you know what? This is a day. Actually, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, we're doing humanitarian work today.
Baxter, stop talking, because the last time we said that we were gonna be heroes, it wasn't everything we thought it was gonna be. Okay.
Oh,
And she is using her hand that like has the glove. I need to get a glove. Anyway.
oh, Miss Josephine, is that? I like that glove. Where'd you get that?
You know, a little fashion statement. You know, I love a good accessory.
My goodness, look at the stitching on the back. Can I touch it?
No. It's expensive.
It looks so. I mean,
You got grease
So?
under your nails.
Baxter, state your curiosity when a lady says no.
oh, okay. What inspired the change? Isn't it kind of warm?
Baxter, what did I just say?
Rao is very curious also, but like not again.
A lady doesn't adhere to the seasons for her fashion. If it's cold outside but the outfit looks good, you leave the coat behind.
Oh, I totally understand what you mean, and I think he like pulls out a notebook and writes this down. It was like a piece of life advice.
You know, I think I saw in an ancient text.
Don't you do it, Edge.
It's cold outside, but I'm still dressing like authority because a hoe never gets cold.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you,
Thank you, Alex.
That view of beautiful, beautiful poetry reading.
I don't know. Can I give inspiration on this show? What is that?
Please?
It's a help.
I have an extra help?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You get an extra help, Alex.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is we'll map everything out, we'll sneak inside, we'll get what we need, and then we will be out. Sound like a
Yeah,
plan?
that was the plan last time.
I mean, you know, this time we got the blueprints.
We got the blueprints.
This time we got something.
And we have another capable mage.
I think it's what we're missing that'll matter.
What, the 2 loudest people in the goddamn family?
The one that shot the dog right after we got in there? Yeah, that one.
They got dogs. It's a
I'm sorry, what?
It was
Oh.
like a robo dog. It was real weird. There was
Super-
high tech.
Okay. Okay.
You know, she only hates horses.
Robo horses. I think she hates robo animals.
You know, something about robot animals must be bothering her. We gotta talk to her about that.
Baxter, you know what that something is.
It's just interesting because like robots she's got a problem with, but other things that are mimicking life apparently are fine. Anyway.
Okay.
That's okay.
Show me those blueprints again. What was the plan you were saying about?
Here's the concerning part for me, and like I mean I hate to be a conspiracy theorist. It's honestly I think the tackiest thing a person could be.
Oh, I love it. It's the biggest gamble in the world.
The suspicion meter goes up. No.
I do think it's interesting that this is being ran out of an old mechanic shop.
I mean, I don't think there's nothing suspicious about that. You got stuff you repossess, you want to turn it into stuff you can use.
Do you think, But,
Nico,
Baxter-
this is why you're my right hand.
Baxter, who do you think's running it though?
Oh,
Sounds like a chop shop to me.
yeah, I mean,
I think it's a good thing we don't have the twins with us, if you know what I'm saying.
Very good thing we don't have the twins with us.
no, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I lean over to Rao and I'm like, we think that Jeremiah is sleeping with one of the mechanics.
Oh. That's the ones that took your stuff?
I don't know about
If
the
they're
one-
running the same shop,
No, that's the drop. The
Well,
bank.
they're both mechanists.
No, are they?
So this is the Repo Depot, which is being run out of an old mech shop, and from if I'm paying attention to the plot correctly, they were hired to work on behalf of the drop. They themselves are not the drop. They are a separate organization.
So why then did Dr. Lestallion help us out if that's true?
Perhaps to keep us off our trail.
I don't know. Why would someone do that though? That's so dishonest.
That's exactly why, Baxter.
Yeah. Can't trust everybody.
You know how what's his dick offered to help you with your meat and then stole your idea? It's like
What's
that.
This dick offered to help you with your meat.
Liam?
That's a suggestion.
No! The guy who fucking gave you a workshop.
Oh, you mean that me? Got it.
Excuse me? Baxter, I don't want to hear about none of that. I already told you. I approve of whatever you're doing. Just don't give me any details.
No. I mean, that was the newest iteration of the fake meat. You know, Liam's been helping me with my older drafts.
Anyway,
I got it.
Is this the group all suddenly understands what happens at the same time?
Okay. So anyway, the point is we have a plan. We know what we're doing. We're gonna sneak in. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get in, get out, and hopefully, I mean, there's only 5 people working there. It's a 2-story building with a basement and 5 people operating it. We'll be fine.
I think I might have something to help with that, just in case, or be able to make something to help with that, just in case.
Oh, I love it. Let's do it.
appreciate that.
And-
Alright. Yeah.
I would like to create a sleeping, like, something that I would put in like a little glass ampule and be able to break and have it. I think the force of like the breakage would be what would draw it up into the air. It's not like,
Mm-hmm. So is it like 2 separate chambers that when combined they make this sleeping gas?
it's like, yeah, you break it and the gas is released as opposed to like the liquid and the solid. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay. Yeah, this sounds like a flashback, first of all. I think this is like a 1 grit flashback. So do that. And then you can roll to create this. What skill are you using?
So, my special ability is the Viper, which I don't have copied into this one. So I will go back to my other page. Jesus. So, when you invent, craft, or try to apply a poison or narcotics, take +1d to your roll.
Nice.
So I will
What
be
skill are you
using
Yeah.
craft.
+1d.
Hit that, and then position.
This is controlled standard.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, you do it. You have this extra +1 for your engagement roll.
Nice.
Is anyone else doing flashbacks before we tally up dice for the engagement?
can't pull up the page in the PDF.
Page 136.
On Fistful of Darkness or Blades in the Dark?
Blades in the Dark.
136.
That's the
Thank
PDF
you.
number.
Thank you, bestie.
Maybe I'll just start reading off.
This one needs a
Please,
shortcut.
please.
Scroll, scroll, scroll.
So you start off with 1d6 for sheer luck. And then, is the operation particularly bold or daring? Yes. It is not complex, so you don't get the minus. Does this plan's detail expose a vulnerability? I think that Rao has created a vulnerability when she cracks the sleeping gas in the space. So you guys take plus 1d from that. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid? I think that is Josephine's friend. So that is another plus 1d. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Yes. Take minus 1d.
I don't think I can do anything else because I truly don't know what Keith is thinking.
May I ask why? Or
You'll
is
see.
that against... Is that... Okay. Okay.
You'll see. You'll
No,
see.
like the last time, the thing that we need to consider was the bank had an AI that would protect itself.
So...
We truly don't know.
So that is
It's a shitty little Mac shop.
3d6.
I mean... Alright.
Who would like to roll it?
Should we roll it after a break?
I was gonna see what you guys rolled, and then
Okay,
go
let's do
with
that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Nose goes. I say Alex. No, Alex, please. Otherwise,
You know what?
Okay, I'll roll it. It's fine. Where's the engagement button?
You just have to roll 3d6.
I'm happy to roll.
I don't hear
I
voices.
love you.
Slingshot engaged. Wow.
You know, I don't know what you're talking about, just so that we can see.
Please roll poorly.
We got the same thing, so it doesn't matter.
I got it better though. I got 2 4s. You got 1 4.
I passed the test better than you.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, that does kind of like make a difference.
Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, Rao throws in this ampule of sleeping gas, and I think all of you guys rush in with like makeshift gas masks on. I think these are like very low tech things, probably just bandanas soaked in water or something. You guys like quickly make it through.
Oh,
the
it's
first...
actually soaked in piss. Works better that way.
So we
From Pop's bed, of course.
sounds like a kink, but let's go. You guys like make it through this cloud of sleeping potion, and you see 4 of the guards just like drop, and all of their like equipment scatters around them. The top portion of this building is dedicated to like admin stuff. So there are a lot of like file cabinets and desks up here. And as you get to the bottom, when you get to the bottom, you flip a switch and you see like all of these shelves full of valuables wrapped up and others secured to walls. And then you hear someone cock a shotgun as they say, well now, what we got here? This is Keston Frost, who's looking directly at you 4. All right, time for a break. We'll see you guys afterwards. I hope things go well this time. See you soon.
No, you don't!
Welcome back under the table. The crew is trying to get their stuff back from a repo company. They've managed to take out most of the workers, thankfully non-fatally. They're sleeping quietly upstairs. but they have run into the boss of the Repo Depot, whose name is Keston Frost. They have cocked a shotgun, and they are looking quizzically at the crew. Also, in my head, I imagine Keston looks a lot like what if oh shit, what's his name? Matthew McConaughey was non-binary. So I'm imagining like a mullet with like a fishnet top, basically.
I was ready to go down this path, and now I've opted out.
So wait, so he's like Matthew McConaughey and Magic Mike, but with a fishnet top?
Kind of, but like
Because he literally was like the cowboy.
Yeah, that's true.
How many times has everybody seen Magic Mike go?
Twice.
0.5.
I've seen the sequel 3 times. Because the
0.5.
sequel's better.
Oh.
I would say it's also 0.5 because it was in. I'm pretty sure it was when I was working in the theater.
Yeah. I remember a scene with some girl who doesn't want to date him anymore because she's like slut-shaming him or something at the boardwalk.
That's probably the first one. I've only seen the first one once, I think. Because like I said, the second one's so much better because it's just no plot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a wannabe non-binary stripper pulls out a. Also, the wannabe is for the stripper not wanting to be non-binary. So non-binary wannabe stripper
Yes. There we go. There
pulls
it is.
out a fucking gun at us.
Yeah, and they're like,
Wait. Oh,
Is-
sorry. I was still
alright.
in the strip club. So I'm thinking to myself,
Now, is
You're having
Crotch-
flashbacks.
crotch holster?
it a double barrel or is it just a single barrel?
Who said anything about a crotch holster?
Does it have a sheath or is it unsheathed?
How long is it? Is it sawed off or is it full?
double barrel.
I need the gays to stop.
That's homophobic, Liv. I'm sorry.
See,
Go on.
This is what happens when we don't have a straight person on stream.
Did they cut the shotgun or what?
So they have 2 shotguns. They are
2?
yeah.
Oh, good for that.
One of them is sawed off, and the other one is full shotgun. Yeah. And they're like, all right. Who do we have here?
Oh, come on, man! Come on! At least do all 3.
Ra was kind of
Like, you
standing
didn't
in the
even do it
back,
right.
just looking
I
like,
want it to last. Yeah, go ahead.
just looking like.
Now, why don't y'all just turn around and walk away, and we'll just say nothing happened. I don't know
not to-
what y'all are doing here. I don't care, frankly. Liv, you are muted.
Oh no! Wait,
Oh, you're
Welcome
back.
back.
You're
I wasn't.
You were just moving
I
your
was
mouth because you didn't know what to
silenced.
say.
No,
Were
I
you
wasn't
silenced
muted.
or were you silenced?
I was silenced by Zoom.
Zoom.
Zoom?
Zoom.
Zoom! Somebody changed the UTT drink from when Liv is silenced by Zoom.
Yeah.
I think Kiwi said
It's
they've got a
it's-
new one.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Thank you,
is
Kiwi.
I've kind of about this before. I literally had a Zoom meeting on Saturday for a different project. No fucking audio problems. Not a single one. Like, it's only UTT.
Wow.
Why?
I think
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. We got to get back into it. We
Yeah,
need to
anyway.
like figure this out for later.
Okay.
so. We are being threatened.
Not to belabor the point, but I don't think nothing has happened just yet, sir.
And I'm looking to
Just-
see that it doesn't.
Josephine will walk
Little
forward.
boy.
Don't talk to my cousin like that. Thank you.
No, you can.
You won't, mate?
We've got a shrimp, y'all. We got a shrimp.
Yeah, Josephine takes psychic damage from that one. It's just like a lot. And then like she gets hit with tropes, and you never want to think about fan fiction tropes when you're engaging with people in your real life, let alone people you're related to. Anyway.
It's like enemies to lovers all over again.
And all of a sudden, we were both transported into a different world where there were strippers and crotch holsters.
I swear to God, I just want to do this scene.
Keston winks at Baxter.
I like
Stop.
I like block Baxter's eyes as if to block the wink, like when you try to catch a blown
You like
kiss.
catch it and you like slam it on the ground.
Yeah.
Josephine just puts up one hand. No. Stop it. No.
Both of you're both covering both of his eyes.
We're like, he's occupied at the moment.
I'm gonna whip out my badge of authority. My name is Miss Josephine Emerson. Now, I am here on a special operation to inquire about some items that may have unlawfully and unrightfully been taken from some citizens of Terrapin's Gulch. Now, would you like to kindly take me through your store and show me if these items are here, or would you like me to put you down and aside so I can conduct my investigation on my own way?
All right. First of all, what does your badge of authority look like, Josephine?
God,
It's a little gold construction paper star, obviously.
I think she upgraded to cardboard.
I mean, I think it's some sort of badge that all like what's it only for? Public servants of Terrapin's Gulch have. So I feel like it's probably made of like some crude metal, kind of like hastily stamped down. And I think it's got like whatever the city emblem would be.
Okay, cool. What ability do you think this is, Josephine?
Command?
Sounds good. This is Risky Standard.
Risky Standard. Oh, wait. No. So, I believe my badge of authority, I need to clarify this. I believe it's a type of special armor.
Oh.
And I have this ability called I Am the Law, where I can expend my special armor to show off my badge of authority to enforce obedience or push yourself during a fight.
Okay. So is that like without a roll?
Yeah, it's a special ability.
All right. Yeah. Then I think that Keston puts away their guns and says, "Well, I didn't realize that I was talking to a bureaucrat. Then it would be my pleasure to take you and your entourage through my little shop." And they start like going through. Yeah, go ahead. Did you?
Oh no, just good.
And they start like listing off. Well, this is where we keep our fine arts. You see, we wrap the sculptures in some padded cloth to make sure that none of them are cracked during the operation. And then they like keep going through like a whole bunch of like the minutia, basically, of running a repo business.
And this is all on the first couple of floors, right?
This is all in the basement.
Okay.
Would anyone else like to do something as y'all are being shown around this area?
I would like to hunt with the treasure glasses to try and pinpoint where our stuff is.
I see.
So I'm gonna mark 2 for Deuteronomy's gadgets.
Are you? No. So the thing is that the glasses were already, they were already like defined,
Established?
yes. And so you can just say that you use those glasses again. You don't have to mark off one of Deuteronomy's devices.
That's a dangerous precedent to be setting, Keith, but thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I think that's a one load. Oh, I guess we didn't figure out how much.
we said Deuteronomy's gadgets were 2 load, which is why I said that.
Yeah, I guess we didn't say how much load we're carrying into this operation though.
I'm light.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, how much load is Baxter going to carry out?
I am going to go heavy with the intent to carry things out. I have mentally allotted 3 of those slots for treasure we will take away with us.
But can you do that?
Yeah, you
I
get
can do
5
that.
treasure slots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that it was like how much you brought in, which so for example, if you brought in a light load,
It could
you
be
could take
both.
more stuff.
So basically, Baxter is bringing in like the packs to be able to take stuff out.
Right.
So, okay, I'm sorry. So would he, with a heavy load, be able to carry more stuff than one person with a light load?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Don't you
can
remember
carry,
the
each
episode
slot
that
of treasure.
we did
With the
in
crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm
Josephine?
going normal then.
Oh, you're doing normal. Josephine, how much load?
I'm gonna go with normal. I usually go with normal.
Okay. And Rao is
Also normal.
nice.
So the glasses still take up 2, though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
You find them. Oh, actually, no.
I should roll, right?
You should
I should-
roll.
Can I roll survey?
You can roll survey, but it will be very obvious that you're doing this, Nico.
But if I do hunt, it won't be obvious?
If you do hunt, it will not be obvious. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do hunt then.
Okay. Then this is a risky standard.
Okay.
Come on.
I believe in you.
What?
I'm gonna resist this.
Oof. Oh,
Uh,
this is bad.
Let me tell you what happens. Keston is talking to Josephine, and out of the corner of their eye, they see that you're putting on these glasses, Nico, and they say, "Now, what's happening here? What are these I can see that there's some enchantment on this. What are y'all really up to?"
I'm so sorry. It's really embarrassing. I try not to bring it up. This is me resisting.
Yeah.
I got into a bit of an accident down under when I was doing another job as a bit of a mercenary, and my eyes just aren't quite what they used to be, and the only way that I can really see properly is with these special enchanted glasses. I should have mentioned it. I know there are tons of different types of enchantments, especially with glasses. They can show all sorts of information, but this is really all that I'm using them for, I swear.
That's a guts roll.
Okay.
Good tactic.
Oh,
Take
Hey,
3.
I'll take 3. It's all good.
3 crit damage.
ow. Ow.
Yeah, I think that Keston like stares you down, Nico, and they say, "Well, we'll want to damage those. What color are your eyes, Nico?"
I think they're like so brown they're almost black.
Wouldn't want to hurt those pretty Azios. And then they continue.
So do I? Since I resisted, do I get to see where the stuff is?
You do. It is on a very high shelf near the back of the room.
Shit.
I'm kind of looking and I see this interaction. Josephine, are you walking next to Keston?
Yes, I think so.
So I kind of, after that interaction, I look over at Nico and kind of go into like, not quite a crouch, but like motion, like I'm going into a crouch, and I like run my hand across my neck, and I'm just like,
I try to like point with my eyes.
Can we do like a very brief, like speak in 3 words, like what you're gesturing to each other?
All right.
You can say.
yeah,
the
no,
words,
I'm like
yeah.
making this motion. Do I? Or I'll stab him.
I think it's just no. It's there.
Nice.
While they do that, I do think Josephine is going to try to distract, and is like,
Really quick. I mean, that's kind of what you're doing already.
"Oh no, it's
Josephine.
okay."
But
okay,
let's
cool.
yeah, let's see what Baxter and Rao are doing. What would you guys like to do? It's okay.
Go ahead, Baxter.
I'm going to start by reading this person. I would like to get an understanding of their likes and dislikes. Like, what are the things that inspire passion in this person? Something that would be so passionate, in fact, that they might be able to look away from what otherwise might be horrible, incriminating things.
Are you still doing the John Reaches thing? Because this is
Is it?
As soon as he opened, so what I would like to do is, and I was just like, that phrase sounds real fucking familiar. In
You
that
see
tone of
it?
voice.
Do you see it? Like,
Do you understand what it's like to be us now?
I do not think this is. I'm chatting this person up, and this is a skill one can cultivate in real life to be able to figure out someone. It's a party trick.
This is
Yeah.
not a party trick that Baxter has.
imagine being Liam. What if he was here right now? Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
imagine.
Baxter. Yeah, go ahead.
That would be fun.
The thirst is fucking real. I already said. Go ahead.
Risky standard.
Yeah, risky standard.
What do you like? Me?
Yeah, you're doing read, right? Yeah.
I am doing read. I'm going to push myself. I think Baxter can tell that we're not getting rid of this person and just wants to be able to kind of pull them to the side.
Is
And
anyone
I am.
helping? Or would you like a bargain?
I'm interested in hearing a bargain. I don't know if I want it yet.
Smoke drifts in from the surface.
No, not a chance. Not after all the things we learned about the smoke drifting in other
Oh
circumstances.
no, sorry. This is the sleep. This is the sleep gas that drifts in.
But
How
that could
fast
help
is it
us.
drifting in? How
Is that more
fast is it
tempting?
drifting
Yeah,
in?
what are
that more
we
tempting?
talking about
I
here?
don't
What
know.
are we talking about a slow trickle? Am I gonna have time to put on my face mask? Give me some context here.
You'll be able to see it.
We'll be able to react to this.
this man has chosen to kill us. I just looked
Truly
around.
youngest child energy.
Like, I planned what could have been the first successful heist of this fucing
Is that what
show.
this is how we're calling plan? No wonder. This was the plan. Plan.
I literally went and got information from someone in town. This is more planning than we've ever done.
Again, I say it is now very apparent
Right.
as to why this side of the cowboy group does how they do.
Truly.
I
I
think
successfully.
John?
I even worked around our
See,
fucking our fucked situation. I worked around our obstacle, and now you want to fuck it out of nowhere?
John, have you thought about the rest of us?
okay,
perhaps?
I need you all to stop.
No! We need you to stop!
I would
gonna
like to
take the deal.
express my support for Baxter, but also, yeah, whatever.
This is exactly what it's like when you have a youngest child and their best friend who supports them with anything.
I am not taking the deal. Okay.
Do it. See what
Do
happens.
it.
No,
It could help.
it's
You're
okay.
not taking it because we yelled at you.
No.
And honestly, that means we should yell at him more.
I would like to remind you of all the times you've yelled at me, and I have still done the stupid thing.
Yeah,
So,
no, you're right. You're right.
it's a 6.
You didn't even need it. Yeah, you do it. Keston is a very practical person. They are interested in money. You can tell by the way that they show off all the things that they have taken from other people, saying, well, now this one is worth at least 20 coin, and we are going to get quite a kickback from that one, and like et cetera, et cetera. Like they know like the value of most of the things
Now,
in their depot. Yeah.
That's so amazing. I haven't seen anything quite this cool in so long. I apologize. I'm a bit excitable in this way. I think that the valuation of objects is under.
very excitable.
Oh, shush, Nico. If you don't, I'm so sorry to bother you with this, but if they go and handle the like nonsense bureaucratic stuff, do you mind if I follow you around and get a tour of some of the coolest stuff you got? Like, what kind of valuables you got in here?
Oh, well, we got a little businessman on our hands, do we?
Oh, and he I think he blushes.
I roll my eyes.
I think Baxter is going for the slightly flirtatious engagement here.
I roll my eyes. I'm like, he is trying to start anything any day of the week. I swear to God.
You know, I'm just looking for opportunities and things that have value, you know?
Keston like smiles slowly at this back and forth between the two of you, and they say, "No, it's quite all right. I was once a young buck like this one.
If you think you can keep up with him, go for it.
Well,
God knows we can.
Ain't that right?
I suppose I'll have to test my stamina then."
Are you sure you don't want me to sneak up behind and smash the back?
Kill him.
You know what?
Kill him.
You know what? Let Baxter dig his own social grave. I'm sure Liam would love to hear about this.
We are getting back the valuables of our family. Liam will not judge
Valuables
me.
are we getting, by the way? Are we trying to take
We
a
are-
couch?
Family jewels.
We are getting back list of priority. Mama's wedding ring, everything else.
Dead mama's wedding ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, I know a lot about my friend Liam, and I can only say that he would trust me 100%. We have that kind of relationship.
Me frantically trying to figure out how do I bring Liam into this basement? How do I?
So your next devil's
no,
bargain
yeah.
is the
All
roof
you-
caves in, and
There's Liam.
All you have to do is make sure Liam hears about this.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I'm going to tell
Especially
Liam in my next letter.
Not you ratting on yourself.
honesty.
Y'all so
Such a
candid.
lovely word.
That's why we trust each other. We tell each other everything.
Oh
dear.
my God, it's gonna bite you in your ass one day.
Yeah, no, literally cut to Liam reading this letter. Hi, Liam, it's Baxter. You know, it's been a crazy month, and I just had to tell you about this fine piece of ass that I met in the basement of a mechanic shop. And just
Okay.
tears.
Again, I
so you
say,
know.
what load is Baxter carrying out?
Heavy.
He's carrying a big ass
Heavy.
load, if you know what I'm telling you about.
I
Look, y'all, Baxter's not fucking
I'm
nobody, but
pulling
he's
us in.
gonna
I'm
flirt
pulling
his
us
way
in. I'm
through.
pulling us in. I'm being the straight man. I'm pulling us in.
You're being the what?
The straight who?
Not live. Not.
The what, man?
You're right. The bisexual, non-binary individual.
There we go.
cannot-
There we go. There it is.
cannot do it. Too
No
many
choices. No choices.
Too many
Okay.
choices, no choices.
Rao, what would you like to do as Keston is distracted by both Josephine and Baxter?
So now that Nico has kind of gestured to me where the things are, I'm just kind of gonna. How high up is it? Like, would I have to do some climbing?
Yeah, you would definitely have to somehow get up. They're like different. They're like ladders scattered around that you can see, but none of them are in a like a position to help you get the stuff.
Aren't they like library ladders that just slide along?
No, I don't think that they're
Aw.
that sophisticated at this repo depot. I think they're just like regular ladders.
And it's not built like scaffolding. I would have to actually actively move a ladder.
Mhm.
Or is it like those kind of shelves that are like you can climb up them without a ladder if you
can try.
know what you're doing?
You can try.
Okay, I am going to attempt to stealthily crawl, like just kind of dip out in the middle of this conversation, and crawl my way up to where the goods are,
Mm-hmm. All right.
and just kind of stealthily snatch them and drop back down to the ground.
This is so they're being distracted by two people. So I will say that this is controlled standard.
So prowl is what I'm going to use for this.
Wait, am I like underneath you, like trying to catch the thing? Like Lilo and Stitch sandwich stacker, like.
Oh yeah.
Is that how you're helping, Nico?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Take a help
Alright.
route. Would you like to push yourself or take a bargain?
I think I should be okay without it, but also,
Good luck.
what's the bargain?
The bargain is, you find a book written by your grandmother here.
Well, I guess I have to take it, huh? I accept.
Ew.
All right.
Not that I need it. I just want the thing.
You just want the book? Yeah, no, for sure.
5.
A 5, nice. Yeah, you're able to get maybe you're able to get up to the place where Nico indicated the sparrow's things are, and Rao, are you starting to load up your pack with all of these things?
I'm dropping down what seems to be like the smaller things that Nico would kind of be able to catch easily, and or even if he didn't, it would kind of just be like a scooted over to the side
Okay.
kind of deal.
In that case, the two of you can fill up your packs up to 4 slots divided among yourselves, however you want. But Rao, this book written by your grandmother is very heavy, and it is a critique on the what's it called, the teaching practices in the city of Calamity.
All right.
How much do you want to split up the loot? Just real quick.
Really quick, the book weighs 1 load.
Okay. I'm gonna take it.
I can take.
But you're busy.
You are busy.
Oh right, I'm so sorry.
I can take up to 3, but I'd rather just take 2.
I give you 2, and I take the other 2 myself.
And then the third, which is the book.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mark those off on your load. But this is a 5. And as you're digging through this shelf your footing slips, and while you don't fall, something on this shelf dislodges. It is a vial full of black liquid. And when it shatters on the ground, the liquid begins to spread and spread and spread.
Do I recognize this liquid from my research?
How is
Oh,
this the
absolutely.
consequence of a 5?
Oh no. Oh no.
Is this a liquid that I also recognize?
This is also a liquid you recognize, Rao. This is the liquid that you saw in the other man. And I think that Keston like quickly turns around and says, What's going on?
I obviously say nothing because I'm hiding the fact that I'm on a shelf.
Yeah, Keston doesn't notice you, Rao, and they don't clock that Nico is like in a weird spot. But yeah.
I try to look like I'm inspecting something, like
Absolutely, yeah.
just looking at looking at shelves.
You pull it off, but you can see that this liquid is like slowly spreading, like much more than a vial that size would have.
Frost. What would you say this is happening right here? Is this normal?
They step over to it and they're like, "Well, I never seen ink like this before. What did you knock something over from one of these shelves?"
I didn't touch nothing. It must have just been some rustling, tecton. Like the city moves,
They nudge it with their foot.
I
and
wouldn't.
The darkness starts to spread along their boot, and they're like, "What? Now what? What in domination? What is this?"
I would like to. This is such a stupid move.
Love it. That's what we do here.
I'm ready.
I would like to shoot their shoelaces undone. Like, basically, like, shoot their shoelaces so they, like, come off, and so they can yank their foot out of their boot. Or maybe I just, like, pull them away.
Which is it?
Keith gave us a they die option, and you said, let's save them, and
Yeah.
remember that we were
Yeah, it's
here.
called avoiding doom, bitch.
Wait. They don't
Wait,
die.
also...
They won't die.
Corruption is worse.
Corruption is
Yeah. But for
Um,
us.
We cannot. Alex, don't play a character with a heart of gold challenge.
I got it.
I'm gonna
finally
try this, and I'm gonna use my help that Keith gave me earlier.
Ooh.
Nice one, bruv.
Let's see. Ooh. If I may
Yes.
do a little. Disable says destroy an object
Oh.
or break an item.
Okay. Yeah, this is risky standard. What are you using here, Nico? Are you using like a knife? Are you actually using your gun?
I am using I think I'm using my fine pepper. I'm using pepper, my fine extravagant melee weapon.
There's a
I'm gonna try
massive
and-
sword that you have.
Yeah.
Just to cut shoelaces. I love it.
Of course. Well, I mean, if I can, if I roll well enough, I'd like to just cleanly just cut the shoe off. But we'll
Uh-huh.
see.
I love it. Would you like to push yourself or take a bargain?
I'm just gonna take the help. I think.
I believe in you.
Aw, thanks, bestie. I got 2 5s out of 4.
Ooh, yes.
I just go, wait! I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Yeah, you're able to slice the laces off of their boots, and in their panic to kind of like get this thing off of them, they shake it free. And as they step backwards, the this spot of corruption starts to move up the shelves. Rao, you're looking like you're getting isolated here. As below you, this darkness is spreading, and it seems like jumping from where you are is like the only way to get away from it. As it slowly advances, what do you do?
I'm just like from up above. I'm just like, all right, fuck this, and I hop down with the intent of like bringing down the butt of my pistol on like a point. Like I'm attacking this man from above just to kind of knock him out down there.
This person, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna knock them out, and by leaping at them from above with my gun.
I love this because I imagine like you're so far up in this this basement that the lights from the lamps haven't like reached. They don't reach that far up on the walls. So you're just like leaping from darkness onto.
I am the knight.
I was gonna say a full Batman moment.
Yeah, do it. This is risky standard.
Okay. It's a 5.
Yeah, you do it. They are fully knocked out.
All right, let's get this body up the
But-
stairs.
Because you rolled a 5, they fall into the corruption.
Come on.
I'm like,
So
all
you-
right, that's all right. I can make another cure. It's fine. I can help cure this situation. We
We'll
just
just-
got to get
we'll
this. We have to take him with us.
We cannot.
Just
We
We have to
cannot
take him
cure
with
it.
us?
We cannot cure this.
Yes, we can. We'll throw him with the rest of the other people.
What other people?
Who knows if their corruption is even as direct? From what I've seen, I don't think this is different. He's gonna need something fast paced.
Can we touch him? Can we bring him with us?
Someone
Yeah.
put a bullet
They-
in him
they.
already. Or
They-
Them.
Put,
I'm
put a
sorry.
bullet in them.
Sorry. I think Baxter's right. I mean, they've seen it. You, Josephine. They've seen all of y'all.
I've also seen this corruption before in the laboratory, and I'll tell you, nothing I put in there was recoverable.
All right.
I
You
work-
know what?
Can I, with my hand,
The hand?
check this person out? I'm wondering if like there will be corruption connecting to corruption, some sort of clarity that I can glean.
Have you taken off your glove?
I'm gonna try to maneuver and be like, everybody just step back. Everybody move away. I don't want y'all getting close to this. And
Baxter, grab some shit.
I'm gonna go grab some stuff.
Thank you. And I'm going to try to have my back angled to the rest of the group so that when I do it, they don't see my hand.
This is a roll.
Okay.
What skill are you using?
Oh, God. I mean, it feels like a tune, right? It's like weird magic creepy shit.
Sorry.
Oh, to hide my hand?
To okay, you can do that, You can use a tune, but someone will see your hand.
Okay, then instead I'm gonna use prowl so I can do this without people seeing.
Okay. This is risky standard.
You don't
would
need to be
like
embarrassed.
a push, a help, or a bargain?
What's the bargain?
You gain more power.
No!
Wow.
You guys are so mistrustful.
Serious?
Welcome to
I
every
mean-
season of this show.
Yeah.
Last time, my entire character turned crystal, so be warned.
That was 2 times ago.
So control, I'm gonna switch it to controlled standard.
Okay.
Please, oh god. Fuck.
Bruh.
And you resist?
Oof.
You know what? I'm gonna try to resist.
Okay. You take off your glove. No one sees you do this, and you rest it on this person, and you see Josephine, that the dark ooze, this dark pool of something, turns away. It seems to like shy away from this Keston, and it starts to branch towards your hand, almost like metal fillings towards a magnet almost, or kind of like a lightning bolt aimed towards the ground. And when it touches your hand, the white skin turns to gray.
Yeah, I think Josephine in this moment, like, and I don't know if it's necessarily verbal, but definitely has on like a mental spiritual moment of like, no, you don't know. I don't know who you are, but you clearly don't know who you are talking with, dealing with. I am Josephine goddamn Emerson, and I am not going to sit here and become a pawn to whatever you and your corrupted buddies are trying to do. And so I'm gonna try to resist it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say that is?
This is guts.
And I just click. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay,
So take 3 grit damage.
Oh my god! Wow. Okay. Cool.
As what? How did you imagine this? How did you imagine this darkness would react?
Or this, I think it would start to just like ebb away.
Okay. So everyone hears this inner monologue that Josephine said, quote unquote, said to this darkness. And I think, Josephine, you see the darkness starts to move like the tides. Although none of you have ever seen the ocean before, it starts to, it's almost like you're blowing away a thin sheet of water, and it starts to move away from you towards the shelves until it just like slips in underneath the lowest shelf, and it seems to disappear. Your hand is still white, still like really like weird and pasty, but you're able to hide it before the rest of your family and your friend come over to see what you were yelling at. And all of you see the darkness has completely gone away. It's subsided somehow.
Where'd it
Alright,
go?
gang.
I think,
I ain't looking to gift horse in the mouth.
I am. Good lord, I've never seen nothing do this.
I say we grab our buddy and grab our stuff and leave.
We leave him here. He lives here. I'm gonna go get our stuff and go.
I think we should leave him a note, maybe.
Not with our address on it, no.
No, you're right. Because then he might come looking if he discovers that anything else is missing.
I'll come back.
Vague.
I'll come back. I'll explain. One of us happened to fall off the ladder and just... He was able to catch us and fell unconscious.
This feels like the wrong solution.
And what do you think is the right solution, Baxter? We go back in time?
You know, that's not a bad way to do it, but given my grounding, I don't see why this person needs to know anything more about us than they do.
Dare I venture, I think this brush with corruption that they had will probably erase their memory anyway.
We've no way of knowing that. How would you know that?
Yes,
I
how
don't.
would you know that?
I don't.
What makes you think that?
I mean, it's...
So which is why...
I figure it's like getting
I volunteer.
Nico, shush.
I feel like it's...
I
it's
volunteer
equivalent to
as a
getting
member of the
knocked out.
fam. I volunteer as a member of the fam. I'll come back tomorrow. We bring him
Nico.
upstairs and I'll...
Why are we doing anything else? This person doesn't need to know anything about us.
Hey, if he thinks he owes us one, we could use it.
That is not what's gonna happen, Nico.
You never know.
Look, they say I'm the silly one. I'm gonna go get some stuff.
It's a gamble. I'm glad to take it. That's all I'm saying.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
And I think Baxter walks over to the shelves and starts we've got our family stuff, so he's piling in the most valuable things he can see into his bag and basically just filling them to
Just
the
grab the more stuff. They're only paying us 10 gold. Don't need to get the valuable stuff.
So you're
I'm-
not
I'm-
telling Salvation about this?
Well, we're gonna get a mixture of things.
Yeah, we're getting our stuff and then Salvation stuff, right?
You said
Yeah.
we'd tell Salvation when we brought the stuff back, right?
Yes.
Well,
Or
Basically,
did you want Salvation to know when it was clear for them to take everything?
I'm only asking because it sounds like Baxter is taking things that don't belong to you.
You know, I think that I want to change my action. Baxter is going to look for items that look personal, things that look like they have sentimental value to give to Salvation. Items that are less focused on external value and more on someone's necklace or jewelry with engravings of initials and those kinds of things.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
How many do I get?
How much of your load do you still have left?
All 6.
You can get 6 if you like.
I can only carry 5 according to the spreadsheet.
You can get 5 if you like.
Okay. I'm loaded up. Y'all, I got as much as I could carry. I think it's time we get out of here.
Hey, I got Pop's ring. I'm good to go.
Josephine Rao?
I'm gonna look for my
I
stuff.
feel like we have...
My stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either Rao or I has it, I assume.
Fill your bags and let's get going.
Let's go. And Josephine
Here,
adjusts her empty bag.
I give Josephine her stuff, and I wanna drag our buddy here back to the front door.
Do not do that.
Oh.
Hey, man.
He's doing it.
Do not do that.
And what power do you have
don't
over
know.
me, bud?
We also don't know where the darkness went. It's better to get him upstairs at the very least.
I think
Okay, well,
I'd
we're-
like to know personally where that darkness went.
We're putting him in a cage at least. We're not. I do not trust
We'll put him in his office.
shadow
How about
touch
that?
people in our home unrestrained.
I'm not bringing him home. We already got enough troubles at home. Tallulah.
We'll just take him upstairs and then we're... Tell me about it. We'll take him upstairs and then let's just go home.
Yeah, I ain't
Are
bringing him
y'all
home. I'm
worried
just taking him
about the thing that
upstairs. I don't want
crawled
him
away?
near where the darkness might come back.
And
The-
as
the-
you continue to argue, all of you leave this person at the foot of the stairs in the basement eventually. And when you get upstairs, you see that the sleeping gas has dissipated, but the people on guard are still asleep. And all of you are able to make it back to the Sparrow homestead unscathed. Congratulations.
We are unscathed, but what about the other citizens?
That is a great question. Rao, do we have like an exit scene for you, an exit shot? Are you even more suspicious after everything that's happened?
Don't be suspicious.
So-
Don't be suspicious.
At our departure, as we depart ways after, our little cute sleepover, I think I'd like to give Baxter my notes. And this is how I synthesized that little cure, if you will, last time. I didn't get too many chances to try it out, or any. I figured it would work. So here's that for you.
Oh, this is phenomenal. I think as he flicks through, he gleans a lot of insight. This is incredible. How'd you come up with some of this stuff?
It's genetic.
Well, if you ever wanted to work on it more, send me a letter.
Yeah, natural born talent can always be expounded on. Isn't that right, Josephine?
I mean, clearly, look at you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Do you mind if I try this?
Sure. Please
I'll
do.
send you my notes.
Yeah.
What's a good mailing address?
And I hand over kind of the general area where we are, and we have a little bit of a secret kind of space, but if you want to send it here to a local somewhere I could go and pick up my mail, that sounds great.
I'll bring it on by personally. We'll see what we can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, hey, we appreciate having you, but just for shiggles, call a coin, heads or tails.
Oh, you and this gamble. Tails.
Looks like Lady Luck's on your side. Nice to meet you, Rao.
She often is. And Josephine, I do hope to hear you make progress with this here town, and do try and keep yourself out of trouble.
I'm trying.
I get it.
It's hard sometimes to separate yourself from the things that come so easy to your family,
I glanced back at Nico and Baxter too. I'm just like,
I mean, I think you would know about familial bonds and how hard it is to break them.
Well, after a while, if your family means well, I think that you'll find a way to stop running like I did.
Your
Can't
family's
speak
sweet.
for the Emersons. So.
But
Good
I
luck,
appreciate
friend.
your help. Thanks. You too.
And with that, Rao rides into the sunset of the non-existent sun. Thank you again for watching tonight. I have been your host, Keith. You can find me on TPC on Sundays and Mondays. Also, I'm going to be on a charity stream a few months from now. I will get more information on to you about that, but look out for it because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be more Forged in the Dark stuff, but
Ooh.
with restaurants maybe.
Without us?
I'm like, you're ruining Alex's night.
Need a guest to play the chef.
Please.
Let's go in reverse.
Please, you'd be the manager.
Reverse or
Wow.
The accountant. John, please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm John. I stream here on Mondays only. I don't do any other streaming. But these are all lovely folks to check out, and I highly encourage you to follow them on Twitter and check out any of the programs that they have coming up. This week, I'm going to plug a thing that I plug a lot. Food banks are super awesome, and you should find your food bank, the one near you, because they can get some amazing amounts of food for just $1. Please stop giving them cans of expired food. Instead, give them $1. It's much more valuable.
Alex, please tell us about yourself.
Hello. I'm Alex. You can find me here every Monday, except for the ones where we're not. As well as literally everywhere at Cobalt Gear. I also stream on Twitch. It's fun in video games sometimes. I came up with a new idea tonight that might bring in some of these lovely people. And you should check out, I would like to shout out the X Music Archive on Twitter. If you guys are on YouTube, if you guys aren't familiar with Zerbsbeck on YouTube, they recently got banned. They post a bunch of beautiful city pop, future funk, beautiful jazz. Like, they post a ton of amazing albums that just like you would never hear of otherwise. So highly recommend the X Music Archive on YouTube.
I am going to look that up right now because I love city pop. Liv, please tell us about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Liv. You can follow me on Twitter at liveinaday. That's the best place to follow me because I'm always busy being a menace on the internet. It's, the usual thing, Super Idols, Into Deep, Clearfield, but this Friday with friends of the channel Q Times and some of your friends here, including Tim and Guilty, we are back being actual villains. Like that's the whole point of the campaign. Like, we're not just good guys who are heroes who think they're doing good, like we're actually villains. But we're playing Pathfinders. It's Parliament of Owls. And yeah, so you should tune in on Friday. There's a whole bunch of cuties that you all know. We got Valkyrie, we got Drac. Just, come say hi.
And finally, last but not least, our guest, Janine. Please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Janine. I have been Rao. You can find me on Twitter at Blips and Chits, as is shown on this overlay. You can find me on Sundays at TPC most of the time. And then I'm all over doing guest spots, but most excitingly, tomorrow I have session 0 of my new weekly campaign for Call of Cthulhu that I will be playing with 12-sided stories every week. Come by, check us out. They haven't been streaming on Twitch in a hot minute, so it's going to be a fresh pop-in, fresh return to Twitch for them. You can also find me on their podcasts for one game, but we're getting there. And that is 12-sided stories on Twitter, wherever you get your podcasts, Twitch.
Nice. Thank you so much for being here again, Janine.
Thanks for having me.
How did you feel about being on the Sparrow side of the Eclipse game?
It is insane to me how clueless they seem about what else is going on that they have directly affected. I will say that...
Send us a letter then.
Based on what I know, I mean, most of the negative things that happen are the fault of Tallulah and Jeremiah. So I guess that is maybe a little bit to be expected if you're trying to keep pace with your group and not, I don't know what they've got going on, but y'all need to pass on some information to one another. No more secrets.
You mean to tell me that we have communication issues?
No more secrets.
The group that famously is always, it's either the 3 youngins or the twins.
Damn.
There's secrets?
Never.
Y'all are
Couldn't
so bad.
imagine.
Awful. But
Truly.
I'm very pleased that we didn't do anything overtly bad this time. Well,
Almost. It almost happened.
who knows how that will manifest for y'all in the future, but hopefully what we've learned today will be able to help y'all in the future, you messy hoes.
And thank you to the audience for watching tonight. We will be rating Dice Vera Studios. It looks like they are playing Dungeons and Dragons, unless someone has another recommendation in the Zoom. Otherwise, we will see you again next Monday for even more crazy horror western shenanigans. Thank you again. Bye.
Shenanigans.